Hey guys, and welcome back to another nail tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to go from this to this using two different techniques. So if you want to see how to go from nail beast to nail beauty, just stay tuned. Let's start off by just addressing this mess real quick. So yeah, this is my own thumb, and as a nail tech, you usually don't have time to do your own nails. You pretty much just make everyone else feel pretty and leave yourself in the nail gutter. Well, this nail grew out way too long. It started to lift at the back, and then one day, snap. The whole thing came off and decided to grab a big chunk of my own nail with it, hence the white marks on the nail. You can also see that little oval line in the middle. Well, that's me working with my wrong hand and pushing a little bit too hard. I admit it, my left hand is not perfect yet. So we're gonna start off by doing our usual prep, and here I am using the preppy bit. If you want to see what kind of bits and e-file I'm using, I'm gonna put the link up here in the right corner. As you can see that this time I'm trying to not put as much pressure on it as I did before. And also I'm going over those little chipped white lines or pieces so that I get a smooth nail. And going over with the file around the cuticles and pushing down the cuticles, and also making small ridges along the nail. And no, this is not hurting the nail or damaging the nail as long as you don't put any pressure on it. Now I'm gonna go in with Vita Prime, which is a primer, and I'm gonna put a small dot just right at the back of the nail. And then we're gonna use tack, which is a bonding agent. It works like a double-sided sticky tape. And yes, you guys have been asking about this brush. It's not a special brush. I use it because I think it's easier to apply the tack with, because it's a little bit wider and it's a little bit shorter, so I can really push the tack into the nail. It's just a brushy brush. It doesn't even have like a brand or anything, but I like it because it's shorter and it's wider. Now it's time for the form. So let's say that we don't do anything with the form. Just gonna try to push that on, and yeah, as you can see, it's not gonna work. You're gonna get that little gap, and we don't want to have that, of course. So I'm going to start off by just making two cuts and then try to fit that. As you can see, it works a little bit better, but it is not perfect. We still have that little gap on, so we need to fix that first before doing the extension. So I'm actually going to take that little tab and then put it on the back of the form. Make sure that it sticks out a little bit. Roll it up and then see if you can fit that. So now we're actually going to go in and cut out that little middle thingy with the scissor to make it fit the nail. As you can see, it fits way better now, but it's still not perfect. So we're just going to adjust that a little bit. And as you can see, because my thumbnails are very straight, almost like a ski slope nail, I always need to do these little diagonal cuts, because then I'm going to be able to fit the form way better onto the nail. And then make sure that also that you push those little flirty things, yeah, that's a real word, so that you can actually see what you're working with. And from here you can just start doing your extension. This would absolutely work, but I'm gonna show you another way of doing this. If you think that cutting and doing all this is a little bit too hard for you right now, I'm gonna show you another way of doing it, which is also great if you have a super damaged nail. So we're gonna use something called silk, and it looks like this. We're gonna use the natural fiber, which is a fiber gel. It has fiberglass pieces in it, so it's gonna help the silk to add that extra strength. So cutting a little piece of that silk and then applying my fiber onto the entire nail in a thin layer. You don't want to make this thick, and especially not around the cuticles. Then I'm gonna take that little piece of silk and place it on top of the nail and start dabbing onto it so it gets damp as well with the fiber gel. I'm adding a tiny little bit more here just to make sure that I cover the entire silk piece. And as you can see here, I have a little bit of excess silk on the side, so I'm just gonna cut that out. Just making sure that I have a nice line and it covers the entire nail. And I don't want to have that little extra fake free edge too long. It can be super short. Just make sure that you have a little bit to fit the form underneath here. We're gonna cure that. And then when it comes out, just make sure that it doesn't stick to the skin. Because when you do this and you have a really short nail like this, it's really easy for the silk and the gel to stick to the skin. If you want to avoid that, you can actually put a tiny little bit of hand lotion onto the skin and it's gonna come off way easier. Now I'm just applying one more layer of that fiber gel and curing. Wiping. And we're ready to file this. So I'm just gonna make sure that it has a nice curve, so it's gonna be easy to fit the form underneath. And cleansing off the dust, of course. And here you have it. Actually looks like a natural nail, right? Gonna take my form and measure out the sides where I need to cut it. So as you can see, I'm just gonna cut the sides once again, and that's where the nail starts, pretty much. And fit that underneath, because now I can get even closer to the free edge when I do that. I'm gonna pinch the form. Just a little reminder, I'm actually doing this with my wrong hand. And pushing out those flirty things on the sides again, just make sure that you know what you're doing, and look at that. So now you can get it super flush to the free edge and you are ready to do whatever you want to do with this nail. So we're going to do an extension on this, and I'm still using the natural fiber because it looks like a natural nail. And as you can see, yes, I am doing this with my wrong hand. If you want to see a full hand using my wrong hand, I'm gonna put that video up in the little information icon if you want to have a little bit of a laugh. We're gonna cure that, and then it's time to file this nail if you are doing the sandwich technique. If you're not doing the sandwich technique, just keep building, do whatever you want to do. But if you're doing the sandwich technique, you need to make sure that the extension is even and thin, especially around the edges. And then you can put whatever color you want to do on top and do the sandwich and blah, blah, blah. If you don't know what the sandwich technique is, I'm going to put that little video up here as well. And here you have the final result. So, you know, you still, of course, have my little thingy on the side, on the skin, but I think it looks way better than when we started out. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Share with your friends, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Love you so much. Bye.